how do you price and value these skills and these services? Now, Final Web Design, this is Steve. All right, what's up, everybody? How are we doing today? Steve Mingleco, Final Web Design. Have a new video today to discuss a very important topic in the web design, development, digital marketing, social media marketing, blog management, content marketing, backlinks, Google Ads, in the whole world of digital entrepreneurship. How do you price and value these skills and these services? Now, some people can do stuff really quick, some people take more time, some things are done more professionally, some things are not done very professionally and could even be not wanted by a client if they don't meet certain expectations. So how do you find an area of where you're able to kind of price these services, yet be competitive out there in the market, yet also support yourself financially? And this is a really tough question because these things vary a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean you can find, maybe not here in the US, but if you go overseas and stuff, people will do some of these projects for a couple $100, which is absolutely insane. I really don't know how a lot of that works unless they're just putting up a template and throwing up your logo, things like that. There's a lot of copyright, there's a lot of stealing stuff, materials, pre-built stuff. So there is some way to do it for, a couple $100 to build a 5-page website. However, if you really want like a customized build and you want to do, certain features, and maybe you want to add logins or e-commerce or, all these things add to a tier of being able to price yourself. And you have to really know the amount of time things take and the level of quality that you're giving people and what their expectations are for the price that you're providing. So I would say the number one thing that you really have to be careful of is never underquote yourself. I don't care, I've been doing this for a long time. The worst situation you can get into is if you underquote yourself, because unfortunately then you're in a predicament where you're working and you're actually losing money. So never underquote yourself. Always overquote. If I could have one rule of thumb when you're in this industry, is to overquote yourself, because they can walk away and yes, you might have to find something else to bring in some income, maybe a side job, or maybe you work with another client and do something else, or however you have that in place. But at the same time, you do need to be careful, because if you underquote yourself, you could honestly be losing money. So I would say the number one thing is to not underquote yourself. The next thing I would say is to know the market. Every market is going to be a little bit different in the fact that, again, you have people overseas, you have people in the US, you have firms, you have people in their bedroom. So there's a lot of different ways to get these services, but I would say as long as you know the market and know what the going rate is for a professional website, if you're providing professional websites, it's very easy to kind of gauge yourself a little bit better. So have a good understanding of what does the logo cost. Yes, there are some companies who will pay $10,000 for a logo if it's a logo that's going to bring them more business and more sales and more, income down the road. There are companies that will pay $15,000 for a website. That's not unheard of for an informational homepage, about, contact type website. But you have to really know what type of business are you? Are you giving that level of quality? Are you giving that professionalism? Are you giving them something that's going to be beneficial for them with like Googles and searches and a very powerful digital presence for the next year or two? So I would say know the market, know what your competition's doing, know what your people outside of your competition are doing, but just know your market, because that's super important to know how to rate yourself. The third thing I would say is you have to have a good understanding of how much time these tasks are taking. How much time does it take you to create a logo? If you have to do 3 revisions and the client comes back and wants a 4th revision, are you prepared to have that idea of, that you have to put in a whole nother stage of revisions? That's why I say never underquote yourself, because it's always better to go high and have these things already confirmed that you're going to have to be doing them, so that you're still making money even if you go into 6 revisions. Just know that you're, by quoting yourself under and then you get yourself into these revisions or edits, then you're going to find a problem. Same goes with websites, same goes with brochures, digital creation, materials, things like that. So really have an understanding of how much time all of these tasks are going to take you, because each task is really got to be broken down. Are you making $20 an hour? Are you making $40 an hour? Are you making $100 an hour? Whatever your rate is, but be able to put that into your proposals, at least mentally on your end, so that you know, again, how much time is being put into each of these tasks and really how much you're making in an hour. And count emails, count phone calls, count all these different things that you have to do with the client, because ultimately, I always put number one project management, because the back and forth with customers and clients always takes a lot more time than people anticipate. Fourth point, I'll be brief here, provide quality. If you can't provide quality, you can't provide the higher prices. If you have a low product, if you're just using some themes from Theme Forest or, Invento or whatever, you're doing, if you're just putting up a WordPress and you're not customizing it, you can't charge for that, and people are going to know it. They're going to know it right away. That's why nowadays our customers keep coming back, is because they see our quality. They know that we have a higher standard of product than most of their competition, so they keep coming back. And I would just say provide quality. Quality is everything in this market. People can tell if you've cut, if you've gone from a one-day website to, you put a whole month into it, making sure all those little things are cleaned up and the design and stuff is very modern. And I'll just go into a fifth point and final point, and this will be a little bit quick, but increase your rate as you take on more clients. So as you're building yourself as a digital firm or a digital entrepreneur, or however you're marketing yourself or putting yourself out there, as you take on more clients, and this is what just happened, it's just after the Thanksgiving going into Christmas, I'll just tell you the last month has been absolutely insane. I was picking up calls, I was closing 2-3 projects every week, which is, it's quite a bit for already having those projects and moving through. So things just got absolutely, so I just started raising the rates. It gets to a point where even the time just to call people, communicate with people, make sure things are going smooth, testing, getting all the materials, even, as the development team's building it, sitting with them, going over those projects and things like that. I was just swamped. It was absolutely insane. So as you're taking more clients, make sure that you start to increase your rates, because it's the best way to grow. And the beautiful thing is, most people won't care if you're increasing your rate. Keep people grandfathered in that are grandfathered in, but the new people who call, or the new people who hear of you, you have to increase your rates for those people, because ultimately, it's just, you're only can do so many hours of these things, and the better that you get and the more known you get, you're going to be able to increase your rates, and that's going to help you price a lot of your digital services. So I would just say that pricing your work is probably one of the hardest things that you can do in this industry. But you just do not want to price your services too low, because ultimately you will get yourself in a pickle, and that's where a lot of people drop out of this market, because they get in, they do a project, they think, oh, $700, $2,700, whatever the number is, and then they're there a month later and the client's not happy and nothing's going right, and eventually it doesn't even financially work out for anybody. And unfortunately I hear that quite a bit. But understanding your quality and your reputation is really going to help you grow and be able to price these things a little bit better. So with that being said, guys, a like and subscribe. Thanks. That stuff really helps. I'm trying to grow this and be a little more active on my page. And stay tuned for the next video. We'll catch you soon. Peace.